What's good, guys? Bringing you another deck profile. Today I'm going to be going over my set 11 Turles deck. This deck is actually a lot more budgety than a lot of the meta versions of the Turles deck, but I actually have been liking it a lot. I'm not using any Unison support or anything like that, so no Charismatic Villain, no Dormant Potential Unleashed, but I still think this version can compete and has legs. It's just a little more aggro-y and less mid-rangey. So without further ado, let's get into the deck. So first we'll start out with our leader Turles. He has this weird permanent that says if one of your Crusher Cores would go to your drop area by one of your skills, it goes to your Warp instead. This is basically just to say you can't play Successor in the deck because it spans the board so well with 2-cost and 3-cost things that Successor would be really broken in the deck. So it just has this permanent to work around Successor. And also when you play him when he starts in play, you get to start with Tree of Might in your opponent's battle area. So he's kind of like Android 21 and those older leaders that started with a field card in play, but he puts it in your opponent's battle area to do some fun shenanigans, which I'll get to in just a second. He also has a really good auto on swing. You get to take up to 1 life, then dig 5 for a Turles Crusher Core, and put it into your hand. So he's got like a Self-Awakening on swing while also filtering. It's really good. And then his Awaken is, if you're at 4 or less life, you can untap 1, draw 1. Or if your opponent has 4 or more life face up, you can Awaken as well. So he has alternate Awakening condition, which is really clutch as well. Backside, Turles Fiendish Force. So he has the same permanent to get around Successor. He also has, if you deal damage to your opponent with the leader card, you can choose what life your opponent puts to their hand. So this is really good because you get to see a lot of their life throughout the game. So you can kind of take note of what cards are where, and then, mentally take note, and then give your opponent cards that aren't going to help them as much, like, like Unisons and, like extra cards and stuff while they're trying to defend. So this is really cool. And then he also has an Activate main once per turn. You can take a card from your hand and put it on the bottom of your deck, and then pick up a Fruit of the Tree of Might from your drop area and put it back in your hand. So you can kind of recycle your fruit pretty much as many times as you need to. You're never going to run out of Fruit of the Tree of Might, so that's really cool too. And we'll see in just a second, Fruit of the Tree of Might's a really strong card on its own. Tree of Might. So this is actually going to start in your opponent's battle area due to the Turtle's ability. What this does is it makes it so basically it has a permanent that says it can't be removed from the battle area by any means. Your opponent can't get rid of it. It's just stuck there for the whole game. It also has an auto at the start of your turn. So this is reading from the opponent's perspective. At the start of your turn, you have to flip a life face up. Is it the start of the turn or the start of the battle phase? The start of your main phase. At the start of your main phase, so it's like the Android 21 scheme token trigger. So after they charge, they have to flip a life face up, and then you get to search your deck for a Fruit of the Tree of Might and put it into your hand. So you get to look at your opponent's life. It gets you toward your Self-Awakening condition, and it gives you a free card every turn. So you're not only getting to go plus off of your swing by taking a life and digging 5, but you're also getting a free extra card every turn. So that's crazy good. And then it has an Activate main where if your leader's Turles, you can give it to your opponent. So like if there's ever a Turles mirror match, that's the only time that's relevant, where you can kind of ping-pong this back and forth. But that's just kind of for flavor, I think, more than anything. It doesn't come up too often. So that's going to be our main cards of the deck here. Then we're going to be going into Fruit of the Tree of Might. So we're playing 4, because it's just a crazy strong extra card. So it's an Activate Battle. If your leader is a Turles Crusher Core, you turn one of your opponent's life face down. So we have a few ways to get their life face up, not just from the Tree of Might, but some other effects as well. Then you give one of your battle cards plus 20k. I believe it's any battle card. Yeah, you choose a leader card or battle card plus 20k for the battle, and then if it's a Turles, it also gains double strike. So it's like a super chompa for a Turles, or just a 20k for 1 energy for any other leader or battle card. So that's just crazy strong for 1 energy, right? Like especially if you're doing it on your leader itself, it's a double strike plus 20k for 1 energy. That's a chompa plus a super combo for 1 card, and you're getting these for free every turn. So really strong, and then your leader on the backside can recycle them pretty much endlessly, because you can take, say you have a fruit in your hand, you can put it on the bottom of your deck, pick a fruit back up from your drop area, then you have that fruit in your deck for next turn to tutor from your deck when your opponent flips their life face up. So yeah, that's the lifeblood of the deck, and this is why if you hear people talking about Turles, they'll say it's a really crazy strong aggro deck, and this is the primary reason why, is because this is just a super crazy enabler, not just for your leader, but for your Turles battle cards. All right. Oh, the tree also has this permanent that makes it so your opponents, which was meaning yours, Turtles Crusher Core cards cost 1 less to combo with, which is relevant because all of them cost 1 energy to combo with. So really important getting into these guys. So here's the Crusher Core themselves. Here's Lacacy. So he is 1 for a 3k. When you combo, he's a unique. When you combo with him from your hand or deck, which is just to go with one specific card in the deck, you can play him for free in rest mode. So it's kind of like the old Universe 6 cards where you combo with them and they come into play. He'll come into play in rest mode, and this guy will grab his brother when he comes into play, which is Raisin. He'll play a Raisin from your deck, and then you get to draw 1, discard 1. So this is the best one in the deck by a country mile, because you get to go plus while also getting a free loot and getting a free blocker into play. So Raisin does the same thing. He just comes into play in rest mode. He doesn't fetch his brother, unfortunately. He's just a unique blocker, but the blocker is really strong. Although he does come into play in rest mode. If you combo him into play, he comes into play in unrested, in active mode, if you play him off his brother. So these guys are like the dynamic duo of the deck. We got 4 of each of them. They're just these guys are insanely good, and you're one of your main engines of the deck. We've got 4 dies. This guy is 1 for a 3k. Unique. It's the same thing when you combo with him from your hand or deck. He comes into play in rest mode, and then when you play him, you dig 3 for a Turtles Crusher Core and put it into your hand. So it's just, you know, you get a combo power. It's only 3k, which is kind of the equivalent of a 5 sometimes, and sometimes it's less. It depends on how the math is lining up, but you get to play him for free, so you don't even lose him after comboing with him. He comes into play, and then you get another card for your troubles as well. And then if he's around for your next turn, he gets active, and then you can combo him again. So very strong value on dies. And then the last one, Almond, he's kind of the redheaded stepchild. We're only playing 2. He's also 1 for a 3 combo into play in rest mode. Then he has an activate main. Pay a green, send Almond to the warp, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or more. And I believe it puts it in the drop area. Yeah, you KO it. So it's just kind of like a pseudo father-son Kamehameha on a stick. I just have him here to kind of bulk up the Turles Crusher Core count in the deck, because we want to make sure we're hitting our effects as often as possible, and this can be useful in some matchups like against Go Tanks and whatever. Red Broly, you know, they're dropping big fatties into play. If you have that extra energy, that can be really clutch. And then the last member of the Crusher Core, Cacao, he is just a super combo. He's not even a fancy super combo. He's just, if your life is at 4 or less, you draw a card. But he's tutorable off your leader, and he's tutorable off of dies, and he can be hit with some other effects in the deck. So just being the Crusher Core makes him too good to not play 4 of. You almost always see all 4 of your super combos, unless they're all trapped in your life. So the Cacao is just crazy good. 2 Turles Invader of Earth. I'm only playing 2. You really don't need even to play 2. I just like them as the extra little accelerant to get self-awakened, because they do flip a life when they come into play, and they're a 1-drop. And he can be kind of cool as an aggro piece, because when you swing with him, you look at the top 5, and you can combo with as many Turtles Crusher Core as you want from there. So if you hit a bunch of like those free guys on turn 1, it can be, you know, like a lot of value, but it's pretty hit or miss, so I'm only playing 2. If you don't like him, you can just play 0, honestly, but I like 2. It's been fine. And then the real Turles of the deck. This is the meat and potatoes Turles right here. This guy is fan-freaking-tastic. He's got kind of a pseudo-arrival effect. He's a unique deflect. Deflect really important right now with Trunks and all that stuff running around. He has this activate battle. If you have 2 or more Turtles Crusher Core in your combo area, you can play him for a green from your hand. And then that's it. That's it. You just play him. And then he has an auto when you play him. You can choose 1 card from your hand, put it on the bottom of your deck. He gets plus 5k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. You flip 1 of their life face up, and you draw 2. So you get to go plus, because these guys are coming into play even when you combo with them. So you have 2 in the combo area. Activate battle, play him for a green. You get to draw an extra card, essentially, with this, while putting something like a fruit back in your deck to get later. And then he's also a 20k for a single green for the turn. It's just so good. This guy's part of the lifeblood of the deck, for sure, and one of the reasons why it's so strong is getting this kind of a rival effect here. Now, unlike the like meta, quote-unquote meta versions of the deck, I am playing the Xeno Chain, because I think the Xeno Chain is just really strong for when you want to be extremely aggressive, while also giving you some options because Turles, the Xeno version, is a blocker as well. So if you need to be a little more defensive, you can use it as a defensive piece as well. I'm playing 4 of the 4-star ball because it's not tutorable, and it never clunks in your hand because you can always combo it away for 5k, essentially. So I'm just playing 4 just for the consistency because, again, you can't tutor it. You have to just draw it if you want to use the Xeno chain. Only 2 Turles Dark Parasite to go into off of the 4-star ball. It's, you know, you get to tutor your deck every turn, so you can always see whether, you know, how many are in your deck, you know, or if they're all trapped in your life before you go into the Xeno ball. And you can also, you have many ways of putting it back into your deck to make sure you're not having to play it from your hand, like with this guy, and with your leader on the backside. So just 2's been, you know, a good amount. I think 2's the right number to do here. And he's just your target for this. He comes into play in active mode when you play him off of this, and then he carries over that 5k if you played him on the same turn as him, and then he's a blocker, or you can just use him to beat down, which I just mostly use him to beat down. Then we've got 2 of the Turles Chaotic Rampage to evolve into from the Turles. You're not always going to have the 2 energy to do it, because, you know, this is a really aggressive deck, and it's using extra cards a lot. But, you know, when you get to do it, it's so strong, so I like to have 2... just because you'll see 1 of the 2 by the time you actually want to do this, like on turn 3. You can also tutor it off your leader if you want, because it's still got the Crusher Core tag, and it's just insanely strong when you get to pop off with it. Alright, last Turles of the deck. Turles the Cosmic Rogue. This guy is just kind of your extra late game finisher for like turn 4, turn 5 if the game drags on. You can just turn all of your guys in play into big beefy beat sticks and just go ham. He's crazy good. He's also got critical built in, so if you give him double strike off the fruit of the Tree of Might, he becomes a critical double strike, you know, huge monster. So just the 2's been fine as well, because he's very, very late game card. Alright, so that's the whole Turles package there with the Xeno cards. And then this is just kind of the generic support here. We've got 2 Bardock, Awakened Instinct, because we don't really use our drop area. And he's just a good old-fashioned Overwhelm card, draw 2, pitch 1. And it combos well with Beer's Godly Majesty. We're playing 3 of these because these are crazy good, not just with the Bardock, but with the Raisin. Because if you put Raisin into play off of his brother, you get to draw 1, discard 1, which is a battle card skill. So you get to draw 1, pitch Beerus. You're going a hard plus. It's essentially just drawing a card while also getting a 15k into play. It's just a really strong synergy. So can't pass it up. And then the Bardock as the extra support to make sure you can always be free playing these when you have the opportunity. Extra cards, we've got 3 Kill Driver. I'm always blown away with how good this card is. I could even see putting in like a 4th one over like one of these if you don't like these as much. It's just awesome utility. You have a lot of free energy in the deck because you play so many of your cards for free or just for like 1 energy that on like turn 2 you often end up with a spare energy. You can just do Kill Driver for a pseudo super combo to just cycle and draw 1, or to Father Son Kamehameha to pop one of their big cards. So this card is just fantastic. And then the defense, we just got 3 Shocking Death Balls. We're looking to be aggressive, so we don't need a ton of negates, but we do have these just for the aggro mirrors, and, you know, when you're a little bit behind tempo, you can always use Shocking Death Ball to try and stay in the game, or to not get killed by, like, a Cell Xeno randomly or something. Because we do have, again, the Raisins are blockers as well, and the Turles Xeno can be used as a blocker, so defense isn't, like, the #1 priority of the deck. But, yeah, that's the deck, guys. It's really aggressive. It feels a lot like Universe 6, like the blue-yellow Universe 6 deck did, honestly, where it's like aggressive while also doing like combo, aggressive like combo into plays and stuff like that. So if you like that style of deck, you might want to check this out. It's pretty cheap to pick up. The only card that's anything is like, these are like, you know, $7 or $8 usually, which I don't really know why. The meta version doesn't even play this, and I'm only playing 2. So if this is if this is what puts it out of budget for you, you can easily swap this for something else. Like I said, like extra Kill Driver and whatnot. So, or whatever green staple you like. But yeah, it's a really fun deck. It's aggressive. You can win on turn 3 pretty consistently, and you know it's got some grind power as well. So thanks for checking us out, guys. Make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button. Hit us up in the comments section if you got any questions, comments, or whatever. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.